Welcome to Landrianka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. A little festive today. See my little... No, that's my microphone. Sorry, I hope I didn't mess that up. All right, here to help you break through the fears. Start living an awesome life. You know it's there. It's like, why am I having to watch these videos? What's up with that? I know I can be happy. I know that I'm just like, what's this thing hanging around, this fear? What is that crap that just like never shuts up? Ego, it's an energy. Everything's energy, so don't worry about it. Nothing's wrong with you. Everybody has it. It's an affliction of being a human. It's part of the experience. And now we're ready to let it go. So your job is to just say, okay, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. So this is part of a few videos that I'm going to do about attracting your love life. What happens when everything about that person is perfect and everything about the relationship goes wrong? All right, I just saw this happen. I've seen it numerous times. We all have, right? Probably with other people and even ourselves sometimes, right? So I look at it this way. I've never had a perfect relationship that went wrong. If it's perfect, it doesn't go wrong. So I want you to remember something. If that perfect person, that perfect relationship broke up, that wasn't perfect. It was perfect for you at the time to learn whatever you needed to. And then when you walk away, the best thing you could ever do is understand that it wasn't perfect. There was something to learn from that, and that whatever you were thinking or resonating with when you went into it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. Either you're doing something, you have patterns or things that you do that will drive that ideal person away. You can say they're not ideal if they're not going to hang in there with you, but I don't know too many people that want to tolerate bad behavior for very long. Or you get into it and that perfect person is not really treating you all that well. So you're going, okay, wait a second. You've got this, but he was so, no, he's not so great, or she wasn't so great. If they weren't treating you well, all these other things were okay. No, of course none of us is going to be perfect and on all the time. But there have to be some very strong basic rules. Respect. Respect. And respect. What does that mean? Respect means you keep your mouth shut when you want to say something nasty. Respect means that somebody else is allowed an opinion. Respect is, compromising when you really don't want to. Respect is always seeing the best in a situation and understanding that your spouse, your partner, whoever it is a beautiful, perfect being just like you are. And whatever afflictions they come with, you have to decide if you're going to stay around that or not. Right? Sometimes we get into situations and you find out stuff about people and it's not good. So what is that? They're not the perfect person. We're all perfect and whole in our existence here, but that doesn't mean that relationship is perfect and resonates. It does for that time period that you needed to learn something. Maybe it's tolerance, maybe it's giving, maybe it's compromise, maybe it's putting somebody else first, and maybe it's saying, you know what, I respect myself, I'm not going to be in this situation anymore. I'm going to stop choosing people that don't treat me well. So when you look and say, okay, why didn't it work? Ask yourself really seriously, was that person really the person you're supposed to be with? So I look at, I've been married, I'm divorced. I look at these people and I go, that I've dated or broke up with or whatever. And when I was younger, of course, there are times when you're devastated and you look back and you think, what was I hanging on to? You're hanging on to the love feelings. You're not hanging on to the situation and that person because that's not working anymore. And we're so afraid to let go of that because it's a security blanket. It feels good, right? Oh, it just feels, and it's nice to have that person next to you even though maybe you were fighting. I have a friend like, oh my God, they were seeing a counselor for anger management. I'm like, and you miss this person because why? But we do, don't we? It's human nature. There's this void there that we think is positive because we don't have to deal with the other things in our lives, like being by yourself and happy. Having free time where you actually have to go, oops, what do I need to do? This person isn't keeping me busy being pissed off all the time. There are some very powerful lessons along the way. I look at my relationship and I think, oh, I have the cutest little cat here. Letting me rub his little belly. He's just so sweet. Total vulnerable. That's the other thing. Are you willing to be vulnerable? But are you willing to take a look, a real honest look at where you are with that person and say, there's a reason why things didn't work out. Did I contribute to that? Can I be better and learn from that? Of course, always. Because better and learn means that maybe you accept that there are certain people that you should not be around. Getting better and learning may be you wanting something better for yourself. It's all good. It's always all good. There's always somebody beautiful and that's going to resonate with you, waiting for you, but we don't let go. We're like, oh, oh. I've been there. I can remember when I was a kid. Oh my God, I cried. I think my mom just was like, snap out of it. Oh, it was the love of my life. You know, high school. Look back and you go, because I didn't know anything different. I'd never been in love before. It was my first boyfriend. It was like, okay, those are just chemical reactions going on, and life will go on, and there will be another person, and it will be better, but you have to let go. We do this with everything. Death, illness, losing jobs. We fight it all. It's bad. It's bad. No, it's not. There's a reason why breakups happen. And thank God for them, because I know people that stay in the worst relationships forever. They're like enablers. They just stay in their misery because they're resonating on that low frequency, and they just keep going and going. They don't know how to get out of it. That's a horrible place to be. And I look at my relationships and I go, okay, I was not resonating with that person anymore. And I'm the kind of person that, man, I'll hang in there. I always give it the benefit of the doubt or whatever. But when I see it's not working, I'm out of doubt. Whew, I don't want to be around it. And they may think, oh, it's wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. Well, you know what? If you take a really good hard look at yourself, you'll find some key things that were happening there that need to change. We all want to find fault in the other person. Now, so I just had a girlfriend of mine. She, somebody broke up with her. And we went back and we looked at everything. It seemed so right. It was so perfect. And then after about 6 months, everything went wrong. Everything. But she had the time of her life, and I said, well, I guess she got primed for falling in love again and having a good time. It wasn't him. Thank God you found out and you got out. Wasn't telling the truth about some things. And c'est la vie, that's not who you want to be with. All right. What did you learn from it? Was it a good experience? Yes, it was. And the bad experiences are all good. They all contribute toward you finding the right person, right? So can you look at those relationships and say, all right, there's always a valid reason why they ended. It's like, but it was so perfect, and I know maybe we can get back together, and maybe you can get back together if it's right, but are you willing to let go of that and say, you know what? There is somebody else out there for you that's going to be really right, that's going to really appreciate you. It doesn't give up when things get tough. That tells you you're beautiful, even 10 or 20 years later. Although, I'm not sure I want to hang around that long to find out if that's going to happen. That's there for you when you're sick and not looking so great, right? It's there for you when you lose your job, guys. Is she going to be there when you lose your job, when you don't have the money or you're not spending money on her? Are you telling yourself a story that's built on, the outside world that can't possibly keep up with that story? It will collapse at some point. That's when we get tested. That's when you find out if these people really should be with you or not. Girls, young and beautiful, guess what? It's going to change. I'm sorry. That's the beauty of life. We get to go through these periods of time when we're not looking like spring chickens anymore. It's okay. We are so afraid to embrace that, especially in the United States. Oh my God, God forbid you get older. There are beautiful things that come from that. I just talked to somebody and he's like, oh, it's so tough when you get our age. It's like this. And I was like, what are you talking about? Are you kidding? People like, they have their kids already. They're now at a place in their lives where they just want a really cool companion that they're going to have fun with and all the wonderful things that come with love. And they don't take it on as seriously because they're not looking to start families and do the things that, we did when we were younger. I think it's a wonderful period of time. So how are you viewing where you are in your life? And is that relationship that you broke up with, was it really great? What are you hanging on to? Of course it wasn't great. It was flawed, just like everything else is on this planet that we don't accept. Where was the disconnect? Can you be better? Did you maybe not appreciate somebody too? I know that a lot of times, most of the time it's just not, just boom. Shouldn't be happening. But you know what? A lot of people, we slack off too. We don't appreciate things, just like anything in life. Sometimes we just don't appreciate what we've got. Because things wear off and the next bright shiny thing, then you feel good, and then you go to this one, and guess what? You've spent a lifetime chasing something that's elusive that you'll never get because you're just not happy in here. And when you find that spot, that breakup doesn't control you. Yeah, you might feel a little bit of pain or whatever, but you don't have to suffer. You're just go, you know what? What did I learn from this? I had a good time. Or maybe I didn't have a good time. Thank God I'm out of it. And you go on to the next life experience and you're okay with that, and you see it as exactly what it is, where you were supposed to be at that time, because you were resonating with that person. You can say, no, I wasn't, he or she was abusive. No, you're resonating with it. There's some lower density vibration that's connecting with them. Take a really good look at yourself and stop pointing that finger. That person was brought to you for a reason. You attracted them. You went along with it. And I'm like, I hear these stories and I'm going, wait a minute. You just told me all this stuff about this person and now you married them. Yes. And you had all this information. Yeah. And then they were really bad. And then I go, oh, and then you had kids with this person. Yeah. And then you had another kid with this person. Yeah. And they're really bad the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, hello. McFly. Is that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? We don't want to look at ourselves. We don't want to take responsibility. We always want to blame other people. I'm the nice person, they took advantage of me. No. You're either not thinking highly of yourself or you had information and you didn't want to look at it. You don't want to say, why am I with this? Why am I tolerating this? Why am I not speaking up? Why am I not trying to make things okay? Let's get some counseling. Let's talk about these things. Maybe we can become closer and better. Maybe this doesn't have to break up. You're going to learn so much from that and use it for your next relationship, because then you're going to be so equipped and happy and got it together, and that person's going to want to be with you because it clicks. And then when things don't click anymore and maybe you're off on a spiritual journey and that they're staying out here, wish them well. That was great. But I need to be over here, and you're still here, and that's okay too. But I'm not here anymore. And that's all that's happening. We're resonating, we're learning lessons, we're moving on. We go to this person, maybe we learn more lessons, we move on. Maybe we learn we have to stop moving on. Maybe we learn a lesson that we need to walk away from situations. You get to decide. There is no one perfect answer for this. So my friend who found out that, this guy had been lied to, she lied to her, whatever. I said, you went along with everything, girlfriend. I said, she told me, she said she never changed her address. She never had her mail forwarded. There was a gut feeling. Somewhere she knew something wasn't right. Somewhere she knew. So you know that. You know if your gut's saying something's not right. Find out what it is. It's okay to want to be really happy with somebody. It's okay if it's not a perfect relationship. But if there isn't respect, mutual respect, giving, not to a fault where you're the martyr, but giving, and then receiving when you need to. And knowing that it's not always going to be, ooh, oh, I'm in love. Sometimes it's going to be real stuff you have to deal with, and that's truly connecting with somebody. So be okay with releasing that relationship. Learn from it. Know that you're not connecting to them. You'll find that person. You will. It's up to you. You get to decide. It's not up to the universe. The universe is only acting upon your directives. Start directing. Know that you deserve the best. Know that you deserve to be happy and respected and loved under all circumstances. And you have to be able to be yourself with that person at all times. And hopefully that self that you're being is kind and thoughtful and loving and peaceful. Sending you light, love, abundance, prosperity, health, wealth. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. I hope you accept those. Namaste.